This is Impact Wrestling.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Impact. Now, today I'm going to continue the series of videos that I've been doing recently, and today's video is going to be all about the tag team division. So, before we get started, uh, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Uh, it just helps me out, and it costs you nothing, and you get uh, well, and ring the bell for notifications on any content. And all right, now into the video. So, with the rebrand coming up back to TNA from at Hard to Kill in January 13th onwards, TNA, I feel, should really try and focus on re-establishing their tag team division. Now, I know that they've got a, a decent number of tag teams at this point in time. So, like with the Motor City Machine Guns, Bullet Club's Ace and Bay, any combination of the Rascals, like whether it be Trey and Wentz, or Trey and Myron Reed, or Myron Reed and Wentz, or whichever of those combinations you choose. And they've also got Moose and Brian Myers as the most professional wrestling gods. I love that name. But at the point in time, this current point in time, Moose is currently challenging for the World Championship at Hard to Kill. So Brian Myers is just doing his own thing at the moment in the background. We've also got the Good Hands, who I feel should be featured more on Impact programming going forward, because I really liked the fact that they were a new team, and they both pretty good on the mic, and they were involved for a brief part of last year or earlier this year in the whole Bully Ray storyline, and I'd like to see them get featured a bit more as a legitimate tag team going forward. And yeah, basically, I'd like to see them challenging for the tag team championships or be in contention. Whereas I feel that TNA could also bring back a few tag teams, like whether they bring back James Storm and Chris Harris, America's Most Wanted, who recently appeared at the 1000th episode when in a backstage segment, and they're looking in pretty good shape. I know that James Storm is still wrestling in some capacity. I also heard that Chris Harris wasn't wrestling for a while, but then suddenly got back into the wrestling industry, and has also started teaming up with James Storm in a few indie promotions. So hopefully, TNA can bring those guys back, and I'd also like to see Devon return and reform Team 3D with Bully Ray, because both of them wrestled that 1000th episode spectacular that they had a couple of months ago, and they didn't do too badly. I would like to, and I'd like to see what more they can do going forward. But I know Devon is coming off major surgery now, and it may take a bit of time for him to uh, get fully healed and in proper ring shape. But yeah, I'd like to see um, TNA go at least try and re-sign him to reform uh, Team 3D. And as for new teams, I'd like to see be signed. Uh, well, I know that um, the Von Erichs, uh, Marshall, and I'm not sure about, I can't remember his brother's name, but are currently scheduled to appear on AEW Dynamite this week. I'm not sure if that means they'll probably do, uh, AEW will try and sign them, but I reckon that TNA should definitely try and sign those guys as well, because yeah, I've seen some of their work, and it's yeah in MLW, and it's yeah been pretty fantastic at the moment. And also some other guys that I'd like to see signed as a tag team that's on the independents at the moment is Devon's sons, um, Terrence and Terrell. Now you may remember them from uh, early in TNA, like the early 2010s, when they were just starting out their wrestling career, and uh, they were featured on uh, TNA programming, uh, but that was just mainly as uh, Devon's sons to be. They weren't wrestling in TNA. They just were featured as Devon's sons and were involved in that whole storyline, which Devon was doing with D'Angelo De Niro at that stage. But I'd like to see them actually get signed as uh, a like a wrestling tag team now. They've had like since then they've um, been training in the 3D Academy and have wrestled, like, have built up a pretty solid resume on the independents at this stage. So I'd like to see uh, what they can do on a much bigger stage, such as TNA, when they come back, when they go to the rebrand. Um, I also like to see uh, guys who aren't really doing much just say, hey, like just approach each other, or one approaches the other in a backstage segment and say, hey, uh, I know you're not doing much at this point in time. I'm not doing much either. How about we just team up and uh, go after the tag team championships? Because yeah, that would give us something to do, and I mean that's how the Good Hands got like formed, and I really like that team. Uh, so I'd like to see more teams formed that way, with wrestlers who aren't heavily featured at this point in time. I mean, they would have the odd match now and again, but yeah, I'd like to see guys like Shogun, Jackson, uh, or and Jack Price team up, because uh, those guys haven't been doing a lot since they've been signed to Impact Wrestling, and this would give them something to do rather than just uh, uh, working independence. They'd be actually getting featured on Impact programming or TNA programming, whether it be on Impact uh, broadcast, or like the Impact weekly television show, or uh, whatever they get to replace BTI, or if they get a second show, which is what I'm wanting them to do. But I'll talk about all those things in a later video as well. So those are some of the things that I would like to see TNA go uh, for in their tag team division once they do the rebrand um, back to TNA. And so I'd love to know which tag teams you guys would like to see either get signed as new teams, or guys you'd like to see make their return to Impact Wrestling as well, or TNA Wrestling. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think, or who you guys would like to see in terms of the tag team division in Impact. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel again. Remember to write your comments down below, and stay on top of new content, or anything like that. Please ring the bell and to subscribe to all notifications about upcoming content. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time.